Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Didn't get to all of your comments today in show from our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, from murphysamandjodi.com. So we wanted to go there and dig in now.
Okay.
A lot of comments rolling in about this reel that we shared, this video of our youngest daughter, Phoebe, at an estate sale. I was there with her. I walked into the room and she was there. Taylor was there. Her boyfriend was there. And it was the room where all the old toys were. And she had picked up this doll in a yellow dress with very jacked up hair. And she was pulling the string on its back. Here it is. I think it was sometimes I talk more than mommy does. We decided is what that doll. And that doll said something different every time you pulled the string. Sometimes it was, will you be my mommy? Or, just one of those things. I think it was called Baby Alive. And so your comments are, Deanna sent creepy, run away. Alicia says, burn that doll. Thinking, no. I guess it's the old movies that make us think dolls can be bad.
Yeah.
Marla says creepy. Irene, oh my God, it's so scary. Please don't keep it. Don't worry, she didn't buy it.
Well, and I'm wondering if it ever sold. What makes it creepy is the fact that it's got the little broken talking box in it. And so because it sounds weird makes it scary. If it sounded normal, maybe it would be less freaky.
You know what would...
Or have we seen too many movies where the dolls come alive?
Yeah, especially if it looks the way it looks.
I just realized what it could have been bought for. Not that we would have done this. First of all, it said $5 on the dress. So the price was $5, but this was a Saturday, an estate sale that started on a Thursday, Murphy. So everything was 50% off. So the dollar was $2.50.
Yeah.
That would make a great Halloween decoration.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be great for a haunted house.
It would. The way it sounds, and you could, dirty the dress up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the right lighting. Because also, when she pulled the string and the sound came out, the little lips were moving. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No, I did not see that. That's creepy.
Go back and watch the reel.
I don't need to.
I mean, you can see look, I was a little girl once who played with dolls. I remember my favorite one. The way she looked anyway. I don't remember her name or any of that, but she had some features. She did some things. I think she peed or something like that.
Was it Betsy Wetsy?
Something like that. Maybe, I don't know, but I think there was a string. And so anything that made it feel a little bit interactive, not that you really need that. When you have an imagination and you're a child, you're putting a diaper and you're comforting that baby. You're doing all the things that you think need to be done. Anyway, Rhonda said it's adorable. I would have bought it.
Oh.
So, eye of the beholder, everybody
know.
sees it differently. So we thought that was funny. I don't know what happens to the stuff at estate sales that doesn't get sold. I know on the last days they're trying to get rid of it.
There are two different things that can happen. One is they can donate it, but a lot of times you'll have these eBay resellers that'll go just buy everything else in bulk, completely dirt cheap, or just take it. By that time, it's not going to sell, and then they find a way to resell it.
Right. You're right.
There's a market for everything.
Or in the case of that doll, you burn it.
It's so funny that you say that. Murphy has a business mind because of what you just said. There's a market for everything. I learned that recently. We promise we're going to get some more email. You know that book sale that I go to every year, Sam, is a big book sale, and it's used books, and most of them are in pretty good condition. My friend who works and volunteers at it, she told me that they have lots of people that show up on the day of, wait outside in line for an hour to get in there first, and they bring wagons and big containers, and they fill it up, and they're it's not a vendor, but they are sellers.
Resellers.
Yeah, they're reselling on eBay or something along those lines.
Or they own a used bookstore.
Yeah. And the books sell for what, $1 a piece or something like that? Or is it
really good condition and hardcover? It's like $2 or $3. Okay. Some of the paperbacks sell for $1. So they're rolling out of there with inventory that they needed, that they bought low and will sell for higher. Yeah. Anyway, maybe not high, but higher. But then there was one person that bought a bunch of books. She told me, I didn't see this, but he was an online. So he would go home and enter all the information.
Yeah.
And so
I guess if you're in that industry, you know what the rare ones are. Yeah. The ones to look for first.
And it's just your time. He's giving his time. It takes time to do all that, but it's worth it to him to sell the books.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, moving on. This is for you, Sam, from Shanna. Sam, she wants you to know that they have lemonade chips at Walmart. And no, she did not try them. What lemonade chips are they?
Utz.
Utz.
Yeah, they have the lemonade flavored chips, which it just doesn't seem conceivable, but.
Well, I guess it's a sweet tart type.
Yeah, that's what I want to know, if it's really tart or.
Well, and if they're lemon flavored with the saltiness, that kind of reminds you of those little lemon drops that had the salt. Do you remember that? I mean, I don't know if those are sour lemon drops or whatever they were.
When you say lemon drops, my mouth gets.
It was those kind
watery.
of lemon candy that was a sugar and salty coating on the outside.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
We'll see. Look, have you ever met a chip you didn't like?
Well,
Not really. We'll see. Thank you for that, Shanna. Robin sent this. Here's a question. What was the recipe for the dip that you were using for the churro sticks? Sounded great.
that's a complicated recipe.
No, she just was busy probably and misheard it. So I made churro sticks, and that recipe is online, part of our Cinco de menu. You want to tell her what the
Yeah,
recipe?
Jody just bought a little can of cream cheese icing for that. And
container of whipped cream cheese icing, so it would be like lighter and fluffier.
Yeah, it worked. You could probably do your own, a little cream cheese, something that would have to be refrigerated. You know what I mean? If you did something that was more with like the true whipped cream and that sort of thing in it.
Any fruit dip would work.
Right.
But
but the icing, I'm assuming you used that because it was going to be sitting out for a while and.
No, I just used
it because it was easy?
It was easy. I didn't want to make. I was already making churro sticks on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make the churro sticks, and I made that. That took a little time. It's easy, but it's like puff pastry and brushed butter and cinnamon sugar. So yeah, it was a container of whipped cream cheese icing. Frosting, whatever, delicious, like Duncan Hines or something. Use whatever you want, Robin.
Did you just leave it in the container, or did you put it in something fancy?
What do you think? You saw the board.
She put it in a bowl. That's why I didn't know it was icing until I stuck my churro stick in it. And
started up and got it really soft and put it in two different. Of course.
How did you make this, Jody?
I can't take credit, Robin. So that's the answer. Jay said this. I heard you guys talking about a TV series that can be watched over and over. We do that a lot. He says mine is a series called Warrior, based off the Bruce Lee writings. Not a series that should be watched by children, but the storyline is great, and you can easily visualize Bruce Lee as the main character in this series. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Jay. I feel like I've heard of it, and I've heard someone else say that it's a good, you get hooked in and you really long for it. So cool. And Brandy sent this to murphysamandjody.com. See why we couldn't get to all this in the show today?
Yeah.
Hi, this is for the food dude.
Uh-oh.
I found these this weekend and wanted to tell you it's the Chips Ahoy ice cream sandwich.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, Sam. Yeah.
Now, these are Chips Ahoy, and on the inside, they have the cream like an ice cream sandwich. But these aren't ice cream. These are cookies.
But it's an ice cream sandwich.
No, it's got the flavor of an ice cream sandwich, but it's a Chips Ahoy cookie.
Oh,
it's
now
not
I understand.
It's not in the freezer section. It's going to be in the cookie section.
Okay, so she says, who doesn't love, she really wanted to try them. Who doesn't love ice cream sandwich cookie sandwiches? They're pretty good. They're a lot softer than regular Chips Ahoy cookies.
So they do have a Chips Ahoy version of an ice cream sandwich in the freezer section is what it sounds like. Or is she talking about what you talked about in the food?
Yeah, she's talking about those
She's
cookies.
talking about the sandwich cookies.
Okay.
But it's confusing because of the title.
Yeah,
ice cream
you think that would have come up when they were developing this.
Ice cream sandwich flavored cookies.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a special flavor. If you think of an ice cream sandwich, you can taste it, can you not?
Yes.
And it's a special little thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
anyway,
I guess you could take the pack of those and put them in the freezer.
oh, confusing the situation further.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe you could dip those in the icing that Jody had for the churro sticks.
Yeah.
Oh,
As soon as I get that recipe.
Okay, stop it. Finally, this is from Nora. Hey, Murphy, Sam, and Jody. Hope everybody's doing well.
Hi, Nora.
Sam, the food-themed vacation is a wonderful idea, and I do plan to do it one day myself.
Yeah,
That's
it's
Nora.
great. I mean, if you just go to eat and not for a particular event or a concert or an amusement park, you're just going to eat.
Foodie vacation. I mean, you do that anyway on vacation naturally. You know, you kind of eat like you're on vacation. You know, you don't stick to a diet usually, which you shouldn't when you travel.
It's easier than ever to search out places. You know what I mean? That's between the shows on food TV and everything that you can either Google or Yelp or TripAdvisor or whatever. You know what? You get photos, I guess even basic Google reviews. Although, the weird thing about Google reviews is people tend to be harsher in Google reviews than the others.
It's that
I find
really?
that TripAdvisor and the others seem to be the kind of more legit. Maybe it's because you have to log in. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you're right. It's that keyboard courage.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. I've gone before, and it's like I don't have an idea of what I want to go eat, and so I'll hop on Yelp and TripAdvisor, both, for wherever I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, tell me the best burger in town, or tell me the best fried chicken in town, or the best dive.
Yeah.
And then just go from there.
It makes sense because hopefully you're going to have something that you can't have ever again because you're because we've all been there. Have you ever had something so good, but you're out of town and you want it again, but you can't because it was on vacation?
Yeah.
It does happen. So foodie travel is a good idea when you're trying to think. And the reason she sent this and we were talking about it is that if you don't know what to do, if you maybe only have a few days you're taking off, instead of just doing the same thing that you've always done, you can think along themes, food being one of them.
Yeah, even if you're not going out of town, you're right.
Correct.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.